Hi everyone, and welcome to my guitar workshop. Today I thought we'd make a little video regarding my little baby here. This is a Martin which requires new strings. It's a DRS 2 model and it ships with 1356 size strings. I've had it about a year now and I couldn't get on with 1356s. So I changed them for 11s and I got on with it pretty well. Now I feel it's the time to put it back to 1356s because I'm not exactly getting the volume that I want or the tone sound. The 11s I put on are quite bright, quite ringy, quite high. I want to bring some of that beautiful Martin robustness back out of that sound, that special timbre that we all crave for Martin guitars. So what we'll do, without more further ado, we shall zoom in. I'll adjust the camera angle, so we'll get in and we'll stick some new strings on and give her a clean up as well. How about that? See you in a minute. Okay, well, welcome back. What we're going to do first is slacken these off. What I like to do is just do these strings one at a time. If I'm doing a complete clean up of the whole neck, etc., and polishing frets, etc., and adding oil, cleaning it up, polishing, I would take all the strings off and then we'd start again from 1 to 6. But in this case I just like to take my time and just do one at a time to keep the others all in tune and to keep the relief on the neck, so that this one's a little bit easier to tune in the end. So what we do is just unscrew. You can use a winder if you want, but it's not, what you're doing is just taking it off. Just take it off like this so it's nice and loose. You can do the next one as well, just so that we've got no tension on them, because we're going to cut these. We're going to get rid of all the old rubbish, get them out of the way. So that one's a bit loose now, that one's fine, that one's fine. So we just undo sort of 3, get these off. Okay, now I can move you. I come up here. Let's get you in focus a little bit. There we go. And these are loose. So we just grab my trusty cutters and we cut them over the sound hole. I'm not sure whether you can see that. Let me do that all the way around. Over the sound hole. Just like so. Bang, bang, bang. And now we can take these off. Of here. And be careful here because these can stick in your finger and it does hurt, believe me. So that's one. The other one, if I can get the camera to point right, this one here. And this little fella here. Okay. Next thing you want to do is just stick one of these through. Just make sure that it's lined up with the neck so that your strings, as they come up, will go through that hole. If they're not, just turn them round so they are. Makes it a bit easier so they're all facing up. There we go, like that one. Okay, we'll leave those through because we'll do that in a minute. Beautiful. The other end. Let me just rearrange things for a minute. Okay, here we are at the business end, and now that we've got these strings all cut off, what we do is remove the pegs. And what I like to do is to put a piece of paper here, a cardboard rather, just underneath so that, I mean, this is your winder, and if you can see there's a little cutout there, a little groove, a little round cutout. That just pushes under there and you just lift and out she comes. The piece of cardboard is there just to stop this tool from marking your bridge. So then we pull it out, and that's one. What I like to do is just push that, just let it go back in there, so I know where it's come from. And they do tend to live in, they do tend to sort of marry up to each other, each hole. They like to live in their own space, a bit like we all do. Okay, so now we do the next one. We just whack him under there, just slightest pull up, like that. And I'll even do the next one as well, save mucking about. That's it, just lift them up. That's that. Take this one out first, if you can see that, one there, out, and this one, okay, 1, 2. Now, if you look at this, you'll see that there's a groove there. When the string goes in, the new string, position it, can you see that? Put the ball end against that, okay, so you just push it down with that and let the string go with it. You're pushing that ball down, just, you can feel the string sliding with it, so you know that that ball is at the bottom of that peg. Show you again, there, push it onto there, and then just feel it down. Let that string go into that groove in the peg. If I can get my fat fingers out of the way. Like so. And that would be your new string, but it's the old string, so we'll take that one out. And we just put that one back in. Okay. These are our new strings. These are 13s, which are classed as medium. Phosphor bronze jobbies. So we'll take some of these out. I think I'd have a pair of scissors. Okie dokie. We need to sort the right one out. The 12 is going to be the lowest, the 56 is going to be the highest. So that's your low E, which is a 56 thou, measured in thousandths of an inch. And these are Phos bronze mediums, genuine Martin. So let's have a go at this. We'll undo our string, and it's already undone for me. Look at that. Martin are clever, aren't they? Okay, lay that one out there. This is our new string. The ball end is exactly the same as we've done. We take our peg. I'll try and keep out of the way so you can see this. The new one goes in there, and you just touch that on there and push it into the hole. Just like that again, just there. Push him down into the hole, and then push the peg down, and the string fits in that groove. Push it down. Once it's down, you know that that ball is touching the bottom of the peg. I'll get my hand out the bloody way. Push it down. There you go. You don't need to press anything on it. Don't need to hit it with a hammer. You don't need to do sod all with it. You just press it down. That's it. And if you've done it right, you'll be able to see where it lines up on the bridge. There's some little, where the strings have been. That's that. Okay, so that's the bridge head done. Now exactly the same thing with the next two. But do your first string first, take your time, and then come back to 2 and 3, and then do similar with these. Take your time, don't rush it, and if you feel this has gone in wrong, take it out again, just check it. You can do it 10 times if you want, but just make sure that it's down there and it's bottomed. All of these should be the same height all the way down. Okay, right, let's stop there. I'm going to have a cup of tea and we'll go and get the other end ready. Back soon. Okay, so now we take our new string You push it through the post, the hole in the post, pull it all the way through and line it up in our slot on the low E. Okay, then you take your thumb and forefinger, just make a mark there and pull it back to the first fret. That's your slack that's going to go around the post. Then you take this end of your string, you bend it inwards and under the string. Like so. That's the end there. Okay. Once you've done that, you bring it up and bend it back on itself. That's not very well shown, is it? There. So it's like that. If you can see it. Okay. Then we keep some pressure on this E string and we wind this round. And we make sure, and what will happen is that this string will, because this is pointing upwards, this one, it will have to go over itself. And you will see, keeping this pressure on all the time, and make sure that that second turn goes under the first one. And it will naturally just carry on like that. Keep this pressure on all the time. Try and sort of keep your other fingers underneath it like that, but press down. And watch these spirals as they go on. You'll see it'll be about 3 or 4 turns, I think, if I can remember rightly. And just keep that. You can use one of these things, but what I found is, as you're doing it, it will go up and it will hit the headstock and damage and scratch all the inside of it. I did that on a rather expensive model one day and swore I'd never do it again. So we can bring this up lovely like this. So that's it, and you'll see, perhaps I can see it now. Get a bit of zoom going on. No. Oh well. Anyway, that's what it looks like. There is 1, 2, 3. No, it's just 2. There's 2 winds on there, and that's it. You carry on with the next 2. Same with these. But when you do the treble side, exactly the same procedure. But instead of leaving 1 fret, take it to 1.5. Yeah, that's your slack. So you would just pull back here to 1.5. Thread your string through. Don't forget that they come up the inside of the post and round the outside. So they all come up here like this and then round. And then back under themselves. And that string will wound over it to keep itself in place. And that's it. Okay, I'll do the rest and we'll come back to finishing it off. Okay, that's most of them done now, just on the last one. So just to show you this one. So we put our string through, up to the nut again. And then put your fingers at the nut and pull back 1.5 frets. That's 1.5 frets. So you need to put slightly more on the treble posts, on the high side, as we call it. So that's 1.5. And then we bring this round here, like so, and push it under the string. And if I could do it quick, back round, like so, as we did with the other ones. Okay, keep the tension on, put your string winder on, and there's two ways of putting these things on. One, the slot goes right over the key, another one it just sits on top of it. I suggest you do the one that sits on top of it, because if you do the other way round where it goes straight up, it will damage the side of the headstock. I may have said that earlier, but I was so annoyed. Okay, so now we keep the pressure on. Watch that string going around the post. It needs to go underneath the first wrap. That's going on nice. Keep that tension on. I can see that is the start of the third wrap now. It's going on a treat. That's it. I can feel the tension on my fingers getting tighter now. The string's coming right down to the fretboard. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm glad I got this winder. There we go. That's it, just a bit of tension on them. Check they're all okay. Now we can happily get my hand out of the way. Chop that off, like so, and there we have it. That's done. We give her a tune up. Now we think we'll need one of these little fellas. So we'll tune him up. And tuning takes a fair bit of time because it's, well, not time, but you need to stretch these strings. So what we do is bring it up somewhere near. Tuner's knackered. No, it isn't. Somewhere near it. Low E. And you're looking for the A now. That buzzing's all the other strings, so don't worry about that. That's just under the A, so that'll do. Don't worry too much D, bring the D up. C sharp, that'll do. Don't be tempted to wind these strings up too fast, because you will do some harm to the strings. They may snap. Also, it's not too good for the neck. They like to be brought up gradually. Okay, let's do the B string. Let's get up there to the E. Okay, what I also need to do now is to, as we're tuning, I won't put you through the whole boring process of tuning, but you do need to stretch the strings. So you just put your fingers underneath them lightly and just pull them. Put some downward pressure, just gently. Don't go mad, just pull them. Each one, just like that. Because these are brand new strings and they will stretch. Once they get to the point where they don't stretch anymore, then you can get them in tune. This may go on for a couple of hours, depends how much you play. If you only play once a week, then you'd have to tune up for the next three or 4 weeks, I suppose. But if you're playing every day, I should think a day or so to be in. But you'll know anyway, you'll know. As soon as you pick it up, it'll go sharp. There we go. Right, so we tune that baby up, and that's the end of it. Hope you've liked it. If there's everything I've missed or you're confused about, give us a shout. Thanks a lot. Cheers, bye now.